I've been looking for some decent quality saddlebags for my e-bike, and I wanted something that looks good and is lightweight and well built and gets the job done, and I think I've settled on these from Kimimoto. They came packaged in a cardboard shipping box, but inside the shipping box, this is how they're packaged in this plastic bag here. So let's crack it open and see what they look like. So there's one sheet of paper that says product manual that shows you how to put them together and how to use them. By default, they are two separate bags, and I kind of like that because if I ever decide that I just want to use one or both, I've got that option. They seem to be pretty well made. They're a heavy-duty canvas. They're actually designed for motorcycles, I think, and but I'm going to use it for an e-bike. They're not what I would call super large saddlebags, but there is a decent amount of space in here, and we've got this that zips shut. We've got a pocket on the outside, and it looks like we've got a utility pocket here to put things in. I'm going to throw them on the bike, and we're going to see what they look like. They've also got a handle for carrying if you take them off the bike. So by default, they've got these stickers on them. They're marked left and right. I imagine you're going to take those off, but the easy way to remember is that you've got a wide side and a narrow side. The narrow side goes to the back like this. I imagine you could probably flip them around and it wouldn't matter, but that's how you're instructed to put them on the bike. And it looks like they've got these Velcro straps that go over the top and they hook together like that. And then these will wrap around your frame, or in this case, the rear rack, and then they go into these quick release buckles, and that's how it locks everything down. Let's set it up and see how it looks. Okay, so the way these attach to the bag is you will actually wrap this around a frame point, and then you feed this clip through this loop here, and then it'll cinch down tight to the frame, and then you just click that into the bag. Alright, so I've got my 4 straps set up, tied down to the rack here. Alternatively, it does show that you can feed them under the tail if you've got a motorcycle, but since I don't have a motorcycle in this scenario, we're just going to do it this way. It looks pretty easy if you're going to do it with a motorcycle, and it shows the instructions on how to loop it around and, you know, take up your tension and things like that. But for the e-bike purposes, we've got one strap here, one strap here, and on the other side, one strap here, one strap there. Now I'm going to throw the saddlebags up over the bike and hook them down. So I would probably do this part last. I would put them up over the rack first and Velcro them together, but I just wanted to show you how they hook in here. So basically you would hang them over the rack and then hook them in here, but just for the demonstration purposes here, I wanted to show what that looks like. Pretty easy, very easy to install these, but when you put them on the top, you're going to put the Velcro across the top here, and then the other bag from the other side, and you're going to lay the Velcro straps across each other, and that's going to hold them together. With this being an e-bike, I do have some excess here. And there they are. That's how they look sitting on there. You just strap them together. And for these handles here, I'm probably going to take a carabiner and just put those together just for that extra little bit of support. I don't think it's necessary. They're not going to come apart, but I like to play it better safe than sorry. And all of these are nylon, so if you did want to cut it to length and then use a lighter to burn off the frays, you could. I don't think it's really necessary. It would look a little bit neater to have this tied back, but again, I don't think it really has to be done. I'm probably going to take a carabiner here and tie these together. I'm probably going to just flip this back and run a zip tie, through here and then through there to hold those down and keep them neat, but I don't think it's necessary at all. It just makes it look a little bit nicer so these aren't flapping around. Overall, pretty good looking set of saddlebags, and I think they suit this e-bike quite nicely. Let's open it up and see what kind of storage space we've got. We've got an outer pocket here, and then we've got these two zippers that open this up, and that's about how much storage space we've got in there. So you probably fit a change of clothes in there and a towel, and then you've got room for extra gear over here. And okay, this is just on for demonstration purposes, but I did want to show that when you put these saddlebags on, you don't lose your top rack space either. You can still put stuff on top of there. I would not go with a basket that big, because if you did, you lose your access to your zipper pouches there. But I mean, you could come up with a quick release system to set that on there and be able to pull it off quickly if you needed to get in there. You can get into one side, and you could snip this and be able to get in there that way if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it the way it is, because I don't plan on any trips that I'm going to need anything more than this for storage on this bike. Another thing of note here is that if you're going to go underneath your motorcycle tail, rather than using these 4 loop clips here that come already attached in the saddlebags, my right bag had these 2 straps that end in this style clip that you'll run underneath your tail and clip into it that way. My right bag also had 2 of these, and these are rain covers if you would need them. Okay, so before I wrap up, I just wanted to show a couple of things about these bags that you should be aware of. Now, because these are designed for motorcycles and not for e-bikes, I did find that when I run the straps, it's best to snake one of the bottom straps through the rack like this. That way, when you brake, they can't slide forward and slide off of the rack. That was a problem for me. So I found that snaking one of these straps underneath the rack and up and over like this was the best setup for me. That way I can just Velcro it, and that's plenty strong enough. Now, I did add this carabiner here to hold the handles together as I organize everything. I think it's just great that if you were to unhook these, it acts like an extra set of hands to hold everything in place while you get everything situated. Also, on the note of things sliding forward, as you can see, I don't have the space to run this strap under like I snaked this one. So for this, I'm going to use a couple of these bolo ties and wrap those around to keep it from sliding back this way. And I'll show how that's set up here in just a second. I'm going to need 2 hands for that. So here I've got these bolo ties in place to keep the bag from sliding back too far this way. Really, this one's doing all the heavy lifting, and this one, really, I could do without. But everything is tied down, and it's going to keep that from sliding too far back when I take off. That bungee is holding that right in place like that. Like I said, this one back here really isn't doing much of anything, but basically it's going to keep everything under control as I take off, and as I brake, the strap is snaked underneath the rack and kept in place like that, so everything's good. Another purpose of these bolo straps is to fold these straps back like this and tuck them underneath like that, so it just kind of keeps everything neat and tied back and out of the way. And the final thing I have to talk about is you've got some space in here, pretty decent amount of space, but these things are not huge for sure. But if you do need more space, you've got this zipper here that you pull around and pull back and all the way down. And then with that, you've got another few inches here that this opens. And on one side of these, I was able to put a beach towel, a change of clothes, like 3 cans of food, a giant bottle of water, and I was able to get my water bottle up here. Oh, that's one more thing. We've got a utility pouch up here that you can get a bottle of water in or whatever else, and that's on the left side only. As you can see, we don't have that over on the right side. Overall, I would consider these fairly decent light-duty saddlebags for the price. They are not what I would completely consider waterproof, In a light rain, you're going to be okay. It's a pretty heavy duty canvas, and water for the most part is going to beat up and run off of this. But in a torrential downpour, I would not trust them, and I wouldn't pack gear in there that you don't want to get wet if a heavy rain comes. You can throw the waterproof covers on there, and that will help a little bit, but for the most part, I don't think this is going to stop any really strong water from getting through in a really heavy storm. But overall, I really like them, and they're going to work out really well for what I want them to do.